Of a vicious assault by a man throwing avocados speaks out as New York police make an arrest. And good evening to you at 6 o'clock. I'm Liz Chow.
And I'm Bill Ritter. New York cops tonight looking for a second suspect in that avocado throwing attack that brutally beat up victim, a clerk at a store in the Bronx.
28-year-old man is now charged with the assault. The victim suffered some serious injuries.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson live in the Melrose section tonight with our lead story. Kim.
Well, Bill, Umar al-Zabibi is still in a tremendous amount of pain. That left eye is black and blue. It's swollen and bloody. He's still not sure if he'll ever have full use of it. The 21-year-old tells me he was simply trying to help the suspect and his friends place a food order, and is not quite sure how that led to him nearly blacking out.
After the trauma, I stayed a whole week without seeing with my eye. My eye was almost blind.
And police say this man,
Mr. Gomez, why did he do it?
Brad Gomez, is the one who caused all of those injuries.
So I watched the video and see if there is any mercy in what he did. There is no mercy, no humanity.
Umar al-Zabibi is talking about this video from inside a deli on East 161st Street in the Bronx where he worked. That's him behind the counter being hit in the head over and over with avocados, which he tells me were as hard as rocks.
I know it sounds funny that an avocado, but the avocado, the weight and the speed fractured my face.
The 21-year-old had to have surgery on that left eye, which even now, more than 2.5 weeks after the attack, is bloody, black and blue. Umar tells me Gomez and 5 other men came into the deli and tried ordering food with another employee May 29th. But that worker, Umar says, doesn't speak English well and can't hear out of one ear. Umar offered to translate. He says Gomez took it the wrong way.
He was like, "You're being sarcastic. Come outside. Let me talk to you outside." I'm like, "For what?" Like, I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to fight you.
Umar says one man came behind the counter.
And I asked him to leave the store. I hold the phone. I'm like, calling 911.
They left, but quickly returned, and Umar tells me the assault began, but it wasn't just fruit.
They were throwing some other objects, hard objects, like glass bottles and yeah, heavy glass bottles, like the salsa bottles. After I got hit, I kind of lost consciousness because I was like going down slowly.
Now, Umar tells me he still has a long way to go. Right now, he's taking 3 different antibiotics, and he's taking Percocet for the pain. Again, police are looking for a second man seen in that surveillance video in the white T-shirt. We have that video posted on ABC 7 NY. Take a look. For now, we're live in the Melrose section of the Bronx. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Well, 2 pedestrians are recovering in the hospital tonight after they were hit by an SUV that jumped a curb in Midtown Manhattan. Police say the SUV and a livery cab were both making right turns onto West 37th Street and 9th Avenue when they collided. The SUV hit a parked car before it went up onto the sidewalk and struck a man and a woman in their 40s. The woman suffered head and leg injuries. The man also has a leg injury. So far, no charges have been filed. Police are investigating. And we are told that the police investigation is causing some delays at the nearby Port Authority bus terminal. Some New Jersey transit buses are now delayed as much as 30 minutes. And we have learned the victims in a deadly crash on the George Washington Bridge were a father and his 5-year-old daughter. New cell phone video shows the massive emergency response after the accident last night. It was around 9 o'clock when the SUV rammed into the back of a box truck, which was stopped in traffic. The 2 people killed have been identified as 40-year-old Hector Pedersini and his 5-year-old daughter Mariana. 3 others inside the SUV were also injured, including a 1-year-old girl.
The attack yesterday on Republican congressman practicing for a charity baseball game that's played tonight was the 154th mass shooting in the country this year. That's according to Connecticut's U.S. Senator Chris Murphy. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, after his 3rd operation today, remains in critical condition. 1 of 6 people injured, 4 of them shot. And tonight, in less than an hour, trying to unify a divided country, the bipartisan baseball game goes on. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live at National Stadium with today's coverage. Josh?
Well, Bill, Steve Scalise is a huge baseball fan and a regular participant of the annual congressional game. So his friends and colleagues say, why wouldn't the game go on? But first, the family of the gunman has just broken their silence for the very first time. The widow of James Hodgkinson, visibly shaking, emerged from the family's Illinois home about 15 minutes ago.
I can't believe he did this. I cannot believe it. And I just want you all to go away and leave my neighbors in peace. They don't deserve this. I don't deserve it. My daughters don't deserve all this. I was gone most of the time, so I really didn't have a whole idea what he had been doing from January to March when he left.
A lot of people trying to make sense of what happened yesterday, but the focus at this hour, in the next hour or so, will be on the building behind me, the stadium, National Stadium, for the annual congressional baseball game, where Steve Scalise will still be a major player. With a few hours to go before the first pitch this evening, the Republicans were back in Alexandria collecting their bats, suggesting yesterday's rampage actually might help Americans see the humanity in their elected representatives.
Our strength of America is within our differences, but we've always had civil debate on those differences.
But as they get ready for game time, their House colleague was fighting for his life. Majority Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana suffered through his third surgery since they rushed him off the field yesterday. Turns out the bullet that sliced through his body caused severe organ damage and internal bleeding.
It's been much more difficult than people even thought at the time. It's been, he's in some trouble, but he's a great fighter and he's going to be okay, we hope.
Also critically wounded, food lobbyist Matt Micah, shot in the chest. 4 others, including Capitol Police Officer Crystal Griner, suffered more minor injuries in the assault at the hands of James Hodgkinson. Investigators are still trying to figure out what set him off, though they've uncovered a history of anti-Republican rhetoric, if not violence.
It's like a pall is hanging over the Capitol, is the best way to describe it. It's almost like being in suspended animation.
Today, representatives like Long Island Republican Peter King were trying to conduct the business of government, even as their friend lay in the hospital. But still, as they say he'd want, preparations were well underway for the big game. New Jersey Congressman Bill Pascrell is the Democratic team's batting coach. He led them in prayer when they heard the news on their own practice field.
We told everybody to get on the phones to their wives and families. Let them know. Life is precious. Time is precious. And people have to know that we are human beings and we're not treating each other like stick figures.
And just as we've been on the air, we have some new information about the 2 remaining critical patients. First, Matt Micah, he is the lobbyist who was listed in critical condition, was just upgraded to stable condition, so that serious, I should say, conditions. But of course, that is very good news for him. A source close to Congressman Scalise, though, confirms now that he is out of surgery but remains in critical condition. A special tribute to him scheduled just before the opening pitch, a little bit more than an hour from now. We're live in Washington. Josh Aninger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Yes, the country hoping for the best with him. Josh, thank you. President Trump taking to Twitter again to slam news reports that he's now the focus of an investigation centered around his firing of former FBI Director James Comey. One day after urging unity after that congressional shooting, the president today tweeting, quoting now, "You are witnessing the single greatest witch hunt in American political history, led by some very bad and conflicted people." The Washington Post reporting Mr. Trump is under investigation by the special counsel, Robert Mueller, for obstruction of justice. One thread of the lead, Mr. Trump said in a TV interview he fired Comey because of the FBI's Russia investigation.
Well, tonight, a major development in the shooting at a nightclub that wounded rapper Troy Ave and killed his bodyguard. Today, a hip-hop internet host pleaded guilty to federal gun charges in that shooting at Irving Plaza last December. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles.
Troy Ave is the only person seen in surveillance video pointing a gun at the 2016 Irving Plaza shooting that killed 1 person and injured 2 others. But federal prosecutors say Daryl Campbell is the one who brought it there, firing the shot that killed Ronald McFadder. They say he then dropped it, and that's when the Brooklyn rapper picked it up and started shooting. However, Campbell is not yet charged with murder, only federal gun charges.
The defendant brought that firearm to a venue and fired one shot that killed Ronald McFadder, said federal prosecutors in court Thursday afternoon, where Campbell pled guilty to 1 count of possession of firearms as a felon and 1 count of receiving a firearm in interstate commerce. Investigators say Campbell is seen on unreleased surveillance video running from the green room and also say his DNA was found on the gun. Campbell goes by the name Taxstone and hosts a popular hip-hop podcast based in Brooklyn. Investigators say he and Troy Ave have had a long-standing public beef. In fact, according to the criminal complaint, Campbell made public threats saying, "Rappers, I don't care about you. I'ma tell you, try me. When I see you walking up with 6 dudes, bang, ba 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 ba," making the sound of gunshots rapidly firing. Troy Ave, whose real name is Roland Collins, still faces attempted murder charges, but he has maintained all along he was acting in self-defense and has always denied shooting his bodyguard and best friend. Now, Campbell faces up to 20 years in federal prison for those gun charges today. Now, as for any potential murder charges, the Manhattan DA's office will only say that investigation is continuing. Reporting live in the newsroom, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Darla, thank you. A huge crackdown tonight on MS-13. The gang that has spread fear and violence on Long Island and in so many other parts of the country. And right now, more than 40 members of that gang indicted. 10 alleged gang members of MS-13 were rounded up today. The youngest suspect, just 15 years old. A source telling Eyewitness News nearly 20 of the accused gang members were already behind bars. Another 10 still on the loose tonight. Most of the suspects face felony conspiracy charges relating to crimes on Long Island, including murder. The gang's responsible for 15 murders in the past year and a half.
The theory is that MS-13 is formed with the goal to inflict terror, acts of terror, including up to murder.
If convicted, 35 of the suspects face 25 years to life in prison. Many of them, by the way, unaccompanied minors who came to this country illegally.
Coming up, a race to fix a loophole that could allow convicted sex offenders to drive for popular ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft.
Also had an Eyewitness News at 6 for this Thursday night. A car crashing into a building, and there were people inside.
And in AccuWeather, what a beautiful day. Temperatures in the low and middle 70s, a little below our normal high, but with low humidity, it felt really great out there. Right now, a lot of sunshine, bit of a breeze out of the southeast. Our temperature in Central Park at 6 o'clock coming in at 72 degrees. Through the evening hours, maybe just a light jacket at most. We're at 66. We timed some showers for your morning commute. We'll let you know if they last over the weekend. Your 7-day AccuWeather forecast next on Eyewitness News at 6.
When news breaks, our weather moves in. Your home team is the gold standard. Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 11. Always in alert mode with instant information and live coverage of stories near you. Always there for you at 11. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Islandology number 50. A getaway should actually get you away. That's Islandology. Find yours on the beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel.
Islandology number 24. You can hear a lot with the world on silent mode. That's Islandology. Find yours on the beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel.
Feel the power of Gravedigger, BP Racing Fuels, the mad scientist, and more. Where every athlete is in it to win it. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Presented by Metro PCS. Anything can happen at MetLife Stadium June 17th. Get tickets today at MonsterJam.com.
Once again, everybody's getting into shape to save big cash at ShopRite's Big Brand Bash with digital coupons on the biggest brands. Assorted ShopRite cheeses are 3 for $4.98 when you download our digital coupon to your card. So what are you waiting for?
Something special is only happening here. College tuition is now free at New York State public colleges for full-time students from middle-class families. So now more people can afford an education. With this investment in our future workforce, we're opening doors of opportunity for students and businesses. Only in New York State. Learn more at esd.ny.gov.
Hey, I thought you were choosing the flute.
Everyone's doing flute.
Buick now has an SUV for that.
Where's your brother?
Hey, Mom, it's a tuba.
Buick Enclave, one of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick.
Current lessees, switch to Buick and get this low-mileage lease on this 2017 Buick Enclave for around $279 per month. Visit tristatebuick.com.
A presidential election, accusations of scandal, stunning wrongdoing, obstruction of justice. This is Watergate. Now, new details, new interviews, truth and lies. This Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Join us for a getaway, Destination Summer, Saturday night at 7.
Something of a timeout being called tonight by a Suffolk County lawmaker over a loophole that would allow convicted sex offenders to drive for ride-sharing programs like Uber.
Yeah, that law is supposed to go into effect in 2 weeks. Here's Long Island reporter Kristen Thorne.
Our issue is not with Uber Lyft. Our issue is that the law has a loophole. That loophole has to be fixed in order for our community to be safe.
The loophole is a potentially dangerous one. Under the recently approved New York state law regarding ride sharing, level 1 sex offenders who committed their crimes more than 7 years ago are eligible to be drivers for services like Uber and Lyft.
Level 1 offenders can be offenders who are convicted and registered sex offenders convicted of raping and sodomizing a 23-year-old female. Here's another one, convicted of sodomy first degree against a 9-year-old. Another one, sexually abusing a 5-year-old.
Today, Suffolk County legislator Leslie Kennedy announced a bill that would allow Suffolk County to opt out of ride sharing until the state addresses the level 1 sex offender issue.
The vetting is not sufficient. The stats on sexual predators and recidivism are not comforting.
Just last week, Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone held a press conference announcing ride-sharing was coming to the county June 29th, no matter what. A spokesperson says he supports the effort to close this loophole and is considering allowing a vote on Kennedy's bill. If Bellone does not approve a vote for Kennedy's bill on Tuesday, it won't be voted on for at least another month. Ride-sharing goes into effect in Suffolk County exactly 2 weeks from today. In Hauppauge, I'm Kristen Thorne, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
From Long Island to New Jersey in a wild crash today, an SUV slamming into a building. 2 people in the car were hurt. Chevy Suburban went through the building in the Monmouth County borough of Red Bank. Fortunately, no one was in that part of the building at the time. Engineers checked out the integrity of the building, judged it is not in danger of collapsing. No word yet on what led to the crash.
That's all to come. Lee joins us with a little bit of cooler temperatures and a little bit of rain on its way.
But it looks beautiful.
Beautiful out there right now, but there's a little bit of a change coming. So what about the weekend? His accurate forecast coming up next.
Tonight, lawmakers ready to play ball. One day after the ambush on the ball field. Now, a nation divided, standing as one. The latest on the injured and new details on the gunman. This is where America turns. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Tune into Jeopardy or you'll be on our enemies list. That's this amusement provided by performers. Tonight at 7 right here on ABC 7.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. For the closest location, visit RaymooreFlanagan.com.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Current GM lessees get this low mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $399 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
This is Carl Nichols. He knows sportswear.
A boxy sleeve beats a butterfly.
He knows what's in for fall.
Invest in a cape. Thank me later.
And the bikinis sell well in March.
Resort season.
But adapting his online business to succeed in foreign markets?
That's my worst nightmare.
Pitney Bowes Data and Insight helps retailers turn U.S. online businesses into global ones. Pitney Bowes, the craftsman of commerce.
We count on them every day to connect, to perform, to share. And when they need to be replaced, folks count on Mavis Discount Tire to get low prices on the largest selection of tires. Because you never know when the money you save on tires can turn into a game-changing memory. Mavis Discount Tire, saving people money for over 50 years.
1 in 4 New Yorkers has high blood pressure. Are you one of them? If left uncontrolled, high blood pressure can lead to heart attack and stroke. Because high blood pressure doesn't usually have noticeable symptoms, the only way to know that you're at risk is to get your blood pressure checked regularly at your neighborhood pharmacy or doctor. Do you know what your blood pressure is? Call 311 or visit nyc.gov/health and search high blood pressure.
Sandals. More quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Louise? ABC 7 and your Tri-State Ford dealers thank you for helping protect our children.
The storm is strong, but it will pass.
From living on the streets to performing at Carnegie Hall, the Dallas Street Choir performed at the world-famous music venue yesterday. Its singers were recruited from city streets and homeless shelters in Texas. They were joined by a group of shelter residents in Manhattan for this performance. All proceeds benefiting homeless services charities. Can you imagine? Great thrill, right?
Amazing. They were saying some of the performers slept on heating grates the night before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing. It sounded wonderful.
They really did.
Awesome.
Really did. Beautiful outside there right now, but it's going to change, right?
Yeah, it is. It's so dry and so comfortable out there, and it's going to be more humid. You'll have to have your umbrella tomorrow morning with some showers. But outside right now, it looks great. Great visibility all the way from Secaucus back into the big city where you have some blue sky and just some high clouds out there right now. Our temperature's at 71. The humidity's still in check, but once we continue to have the southeast wind, the humidity will come up. Our high today in the middle 70s, just a shade below average. Beautiful sunset coming up tonight at 8:29. So showers develop pre-dawn, figure after 3, 4 in the morning. Tomorrow is not an all-day rain, but we will have showers more widespread in the morning. The weekend improves with time. Sunday, I think, is the better half for Dad's Day. It actually get pretty steamy that day and just a couple of afternoon storms. 70 in Hewlett right now. It's 69 in Ronkonkoma. Inland numbers away from the marine air in the low and middle 70s. Comfortable pretty much everywhere. Big difference in dew points. You see 48, 51. That's really invigorating. Off to the west, though, 70s. That's really sticky and soupy. So we make that transition over the next couple of days. Overnight, just some clouds. Don't need the umbrella tonight. You will tomorrow morning for some showers. And then during the afternoon, the showers become a little bit more widely scattered. I'll show you a futurecast in just a moment. Just some high clouds to the north right now, but strong line of thunderstorms. Rochester all the way down to Pittsburgh. But as it runs into the marine air coming in from the east, it's really eating away at these storms. So they're going to try to take the path of least resistance through central New York State. So we'll get brushed with some of these in a weaker version tomorrow morning. Futurecast showing those showers for the morning commute. They're coming in after 3 in the morning. They're widely scattered, maybe less so eastern Long Island and Connecticut as the dry air still fending the showers off. The showers become less widespread during the afternoon, but we may have to track a couple of thunderstorms, especially north and west. The trend on that has been changing a little bit. We'll have an update at 11 o'clock. Saturday, it's just a lot of clouds around, limited sun and a passing shower, but a lot of the day is dry. It's not a day to cancel outdoor plans. And then again, we should get more sunshine by Sunday. So clouds and a few showers tomorrow, especially in the morning. It's warm and humid on Saturday. Very little in the way of rain, just a passing shower from time to time. And then pretty sticky, but decent for Dad. Could be a late day thunderstorm, otherwise becoming partly sunny, warm and humid in the 80s. You can see here on the weekend getaway, more clouds the theme on Saturday, but not a washout, a passing shower and getting warm everywhere. I think the beaches could actually stay dry over the upcoming weekend, at least on Sunday anyway. Here is your 7-day AccuWeather forecast. 62 tonight, partly cloudy this evening, showers arriving late. Tomorrow, showers are more widespread in the morning, less so, but still have to carry the umbrella in the afternoon. Touch of drizzle, but not a bad Friday night. Your 7-day, we talked about that weekend. Then we have to get ready for an AccuWeather alert day on Monday. Could be some heavy downpours, especially in the afternoon. Much nicer after that, sunny and less humid, okay?
Okay.
Not bad overall.
Not bad overall.
Thanks, Blake.
Thank you. When we come back, Ryan Field with today's sports. Stay with us.
Be so much fun.
How about a staycation?
What's a staycation?
Taking care of your car shouldn't take over your life. Meineke can fix your car and get you back to what matters. Come in for a basic oil change for just $19.95. Meineke, on with life.
This summer, in the state that invented the American vacation, a legendary adventure awaits. Heroes will rise. Bonds will be forged. And memories will be made to last a lifetime. New York State, it's all here. It's only here. Plan your summer trip at iloveny.com.
Moving is a good time to think about your TV, internet, and voice provider. That's where Spectrum comes in. Make the move to Spectrum today. Spectrum TV delivers more free HD and thousands of titles free on demand. Just $29.99 a month when you call 844-357-2999. Spectrum Internet has the fastest starting speeds available at 100 megabits per second. That's more than enough speed for your devices with no data caps and a free modem. Just $29.99 a month. And stay connected to friends from the old neighborhood with unlimited nationwide calling. Plus unlimited calling to Canada, Mexico, and more with Spectrum Voice. Call 844-357-2999. Move to Spectrum with no contracts and our 30-day money-back guarantee. It's easy to switch to crystal clear TV, lightning-fast internet, and unlimited voice services for $29.99 a month each. Call 844-357-2999.
So much fun.
How about a staycation?
What's a staycation?
Taking care of your car shouldn't take over your life. Meineke can fix your car and get you back to what matters. Come in for a basic oil change for just $19.95. Meineke, on with life.
This Eyewitness News Sports Report is sponsored by Hyundai. There's no better time to buy a new Hyundai than now. See your local Hyundai dealer or visit buyhyundai.com.
Right now, you can get up to $6,000 in total savings on the stylish Santa Fe Sport. That's more car than you'd expect for that kind of savings. Ooh, a lot more. The 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport, with more cargo volume than the Chevy Equinox. Not just good, better. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai, and this is the reason to buy now. Hurry in and get up to $6,000 in total savings on a Santa Fe Sport. Don't delay. Offers end July 5th.
Just a typical golf tournament, and suddenly it turns into a big news story.
Well, you think about blimps, they fly over stadiums all the time, so I guess the good news is this happened over a large golf course where spectators could get out of the way, and thankfully that's what happened here today. Blimps at sporting events have been commonplace for decades, but what happened today at the U.S. Open was one of the scarier sights you will ever see. Cell phone video from spectators shows a blimp catching fire and falling from the sky not far from the Erin Hills Golf Course, which is about 40 miles northwest of Milwaukee. The pilot suffering serious burns, and witnesses say they saw said pilot parachute out of the blimp, although investigators could not confirm that. The blimp was operated by AirSign and was not affiliated with the U.S. Open, but either way, incredible video, and thankfully no other spectators were hurt. There was some golf to be played today. Your round one leaderboard looks like so. It's Ricky Fowler leading the way, fired a 765, has a two-shot lead over three players as round one continues in Wisconsin. Baseball, just what Mets fans needed, more bad news on the injury front. Hard to believe. Matt Harvey has a stress injury to the scapula bone in his throwing shoulder. He's expected to miss several weeks. Harvey was pulled after just 4 innings last night after he gave up 3 home runs as his velocity was way down. Harvey had an injection and will begin rehab when pain is gone. That wasn't the only bad news today. Second baseman Neil Walker will also be gone several weeks after suffering a partial tear of his left hamstring. And oh yeah, the first place Nationals come to town tonight.
We'll go through the rehab process and get them both back. But right now, as we've done in the past, as we seem to do every week, is we got to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get after it tonight.
Another tough loss for the Yankees last night in Anaheim. Andrelton Simmons with the go-ahead home run off one knee, no less, welcoming rookie Ronald Herrera to the big leagues. How about that? A 2-run shot to put the Halos up 7-5. Yanks made it interesting, though, in the ninth. Aaron Hicks hits one off the wall and right. At first, it looked like a catch to end the game, but they reviewed it, gave the call to the Yanks, and gave them new life. Aaron Judge, your next batter, but he promptly grounded out to third to end it. Angels take the series 7-5. Yanks are in Oakland tonight. Well, it's the final day of the 3-day minicamp for both the Jets and Giants. The G-men taking a hard look at the offense, trying to add some explosiveness that eluded them last season.
In the skill positions, we got some talented guys. But it's just a matter of making plays on game day, of being in the right position, getting them the ball, and letting them make plays.
Meanwhile, the Jets' three-headed quarterback battle expects to extend well into training camp next month, but at least one of the signal callers is planning on being the man.
I look at it every day to be the starter. You know, since I got here, that mindset, mentality hasn't changed. You know, until coach says, hey, you're not going, then I'm just taking mental reps on the side. And then when he says I am going, then, you know, I get to be in there and show what I can do.
And finally, who doesn't love a good party? The Golden State Warriors and hundreds of thousands of their fans celebrated on the streets of Oakland this morning as the NBA champs were honored with a championship parade. It's their second in the last 3 seasons as they wrapped up the playoffs an incredible 16-1. And now there's all kind of talk whether or not they will go to the White House. Head coach Steve Kerr, many of his players have been very outspoken against President Trump. So as of now, the team says they have not released an official statement as to whether or not they will go. But keep an eye on that.
More controversy.
More controversy.
Better chance they go to the finals again next year.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Ryan. Let's check in with Sade for some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 11.